Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt reveal time. That's right, this video I'm doing a Paydirt reveal and not a review. And the reason for that is because this is a very rare and unique Paydirt. It is a California crystallized gold bag of Paydirt from GoldBay.com. And now typically in the past I would have probably reviewed this Paydirt. But as I grow my channel, I try to change up my reviews and criteria and things like that. And one of the things I've decided to do is no longer really review specialized Paydirt. Because in bags like this where you're buying crystallized gold, you don't expect a high ROI. And based on my formulas for reviews, these Paydirts get really bad scores because they don't give you a really high ROI because it is specialized gold. When you buy things like quartz gold or crystallized gold, they do generally have a higher premium. So the ROI really suffers. So for that reason, this will just be a reveal. I will go through it as a typical bag of Paydirt. I will show you the description in a minute, and I will show you all the details about this Paydirt, and I will show me panning it out, picking out the crystallized gold, hopefully, and then I will tell you an ROI and the fun factor and things like that. But I don't want people to think that the ROI is the most key ingredient about this. I hopefully will show you some really nice pictures of some of the specimens I find, so that way anyone who likes specimen gold will like these bags of Paydirt because those people aren't so concerned about the ROI in the end of the day. Now, before we go to the overhead, I do need to thank one of my newest Patreon members, and that's Jan over at Bill's Trash and Treasures, a fellow YouTuber. So thank you very much, Jan, for joining my Patreon page, and if anyone else is interested, you can check me out at patreon.com/Miller Prospecting. And now, let's flash up the description for this bag of Paydirt and go to the overhead. As you saw, a pretty basic description, but Dave over at GoldBay has never been known for having really detailed descriptions, but he is known for having really good gold and Paydirt. Now the description said this would be 1.5 pounds approximately. Definitely feels heavier, and it's 3 pounds, 13.9 ounces, so almost 4 pounds. It also says that the crystallized gold in this bag is from the Eagle Nest Mine in California. Now let's open up the bag. The reason I have it in this Ziploc is because unfortunately the bag did break in transit. So luckily nothing really was spilled out of it until I actually picked it up. So I don't know how it broke or what happened, but in the bag there was absolutely no dirt. It wasn't until I actually opened up the bag and picked it up that it started to spill out. But let's open this up. Check out the Paydirt. If I can get it open. It's fighting me here. Yep. Easier way. All right. I will rinse this bag in the end, but I don't think there'll be any gold in there. And as you can see, there's lots of quartz in this bag, some larger material. And I'll definitely have to check the quartz because it does say in the description that some of the gold can be on the quartz. So we'll definitely have to check out all these pieces. Now, I am not going to classify this down because I want it to kind of be a surprise if I find any bigger pieces and nicer pieces of quartz with gold in it. So I'm just going to pan it all out as it is. I might pick out the bigger rocks, obviously, after they've been rinsed off. But let's just go check it for magnetite. Now, I'm going to try to be gentle with this, just so if there's anything in here, I don't really break anything. So not too much. There's a lot of material, and that's not very much in the way of magnetics. So we'll definitely have to see how hard it is to pan in the very end. But the only way to find out is to actually pan it out. So let's go get some water and do just that. Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and that was a little bit difficult to go through, but we'll talk about that in a minute. For right now, let's show you the gold I found. Now, I did not classify this gold down because it's specimen Paydirt and you're mostly looking for chunkier gold, which is what I found. I found a whole bunch of little pieces of nice chunky crystalline gold, as well as some quartz inlaid gold. These are really nice little pieces in here. Not much gold, a lot of quartz, but still pretty nice. Oh, and I also found one really big piece of crystalline gold. That one is really nice looking. So let's weigh up the gold, see how much we got. That'll help. .8 grams, and let's add in the bigger piece just to see what it weighs. So there we go, 2.235 grams of crystalline gold, or 2.230, finally settled down, 2.230 grams of crystalline gold. Now, I am not going to weigh up these pieces because, like I said, they're almost all quartz, and the only way to truly weigh them up would be with a gravity test, and I'm really not going to go through that because, like I said, there's not much gold on them. So let's just talk about how difficult this Paydirt was. Okay, this California crystallized gold bag from GoldBay was actually a little bit difficult, but in a different way than most Paydirts are. While it did have a lot of material and it seriously clouded up the water, most of the gold is pretty chunky, so it's pretty easy to pan out. But I did go back through the material and pick out all of the quartz just so I could make sure there was no gold in any of them. So that part is actually pretty difficult and tedious, but it's actually pretty fun at the same time because you get to look at all the specimens and try to find something like this in there. So for a beginner panner, I would give this a medium. For an advanced panner or an expert panner, this is pretty easy stuff to go through. Most of the gold is pretty chunky, and it's just a lot of work picking out all the quartz just to make sure you don't miss any gold. All right, finished calculating my ROI, crunching a few numbers, and let's get right to it. This again was from GoldBay.com. It was his California crystallized gold bag with a guaranteed 2 grams of gold from the Eagle's Nest mine in California. Its cost was $295.95. Shipping was $12.50 for a grand total of $308.45. Now the gold I recovered right here, 2.230 grams. And I did recover some quartz with some gold in it as well, but I did not weigh that up. Now the gold spot on the day that this bag was received was $59.58, making this gold worth $132.86, which gives me an ROI of 43.07%. So it's not a great ROI if you're just looking for a bag of Paydirt. So you definitely don't want to buy this Paydirt if you are looking for a high ROI. GoldBay does sell some other Paydirts that do have very high ROIs. This again is a crystallized gold bag with some very rare crystallized gold. So you are not going to get a very high ROI based on just the weight. But specimen gold tends to have a much higher resale value than just gold. It goes for a premium. In fact, I went onto eBay to look what any crystalline gold had sold for, and the closest one I could find was a half-gram piece from Oregon, and it sold for about $150 for just one piece that was a half a gram, and my biggest piece, this one right here, was 1.4 grams. So that one piece alone could probably garner $150 to $200, which would really bump up the ROI. But again, this isn't Paydirt that you buy just to get the gold out and resell later. This is stuff that people collect. And if you happen to be one of those people, leave a comment below and put in hashtag crystallized gold. Now, one last thing before I end this video, I really want to say how much fun this Paydirt was to pan out. I typically don't like specimen bags of Paydirt because the ROI really isn't that high, and I don't collect gold. This one, however, I really enjoyed it. Not only was it fun to pan out and see these really nice big pieces of crystalline gold, but then I had to go back through it and pick through all the quartz, check out the quartz, look for pieces of gold in them, and it was really fun. If I had to put this on my fun factor scale, I would probably give it anywhere from an 8 to a 10. But again, this is not an official review. This is just a reveal video to show you what you could get out of one of these bags of Paydirt. So I really think I got my money's worth out of this bag of Paydirt. And the one great thing about GoldBay is if you are unhappy with your bags of Paydirt, you can just send them back to him and he will give you a full refund, which is pretty rare. Not a lot of sellers do that, especially with specimen type Paydirts. So that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching, happy panning, and if you're not already a subscriber, think about hitting that subscribe button below.